Naruto God Level Majin Buu, Chapter 361 to 380. 361 I want to unify the ninja world. This scene in front of them completely shocked the people of the Uchiha family. Although Chen had introduced Akatsuki's situation before, the scene in front of him was still amazing. Mention other things, the girl in Akatsuki, who used a piece of paper just now, as well as Nagato, Kakato, Yahiko, and Sasori in front of her, showed a shocking chakra aura. Especially the second elder and the third elder can feel that the strength of these people is absolutely terrifying. At least it is more than the strength of Quenying. This feeling alone makes the second and third elders full of shock. There are so many masters in an organization, and more importantly, the ages of these people, Konan, Nagato, Yahiko, Sasori is very young, and only in his teens, he already has the strength of quasi-shadow. This shows that the potential is unlimited. Where did Chen find such a talented person? And the two elders were very surprised. Only that, but also the base of Akatsuki. There are at least hundreds of ninjas in this base, and their strength is generally very good. This is actually only one of Akatsuki's bases, although it is the largest base. But are you kidding me? One base has several hundred meters of elite ninjas. If there are several bases combined with this strength, it is enough to conquer a small country. Everyone is deeply shocked by Akatsuki's power. It's just another country. I didn't expect Chen to have such adequate preparations. The two elders smiled bitterly. It seemed that Chen had long been thinking of betraying Konoha, but that's fine. Facing the salute of Yahiko, Nagato and others, Chen nodded slightly. Yahiko, Nagato and others are very respectful to Chen, Kaku, Toto, not to mention Sasori. The news of Chen defeating Iwagakure with one enemy, 10,000 spreads throughout the ninja world. Kaku-do has completely surrendered to Tatsu, and dares not have it any careful thought. Yahiko, you have done a good job in the past few years. I am very satisfied. Chen's words made Yahiko happy. From today, I officially join Akatsuki as Akatsuki's leader. However, Akatsuki's affairs are still under your control for the time being. Chen wrote. As for Yahiko, although Chen didn't completely believe it, it was okay to leave the matter to him. Chen's current strength, he has the strength to deal with everything. Yes. Yahiko nodded seriously. Chen looked at Zhao Du, I'll lift all the seals for you in a while, but you can stay in Akatsuki for the time being. Zhao, everyone was overjoyed. He was very excited to hear that Chen wanted to help him lift all the seals. But when I heard the last sentence, my heart was slightly bitter again, so I could only accept my fate and say, yes. Zhao, don't dare to resist Chen again. Zhao, after the seal is completely lifted, the strength can reach the primary level. It was a big help, so Chen just did it. Chen looked at all the members of Akatsuki, some of whom were still unfamiliar to Chen, but almost everyone had heard the name of Chen, and their eyes flashed with awe. Chen first evacuated these Akatsuki members, and then settled down the Uchiha clan, leaving only Makoto, Kushina, the two elders, and Konan and other core Akatsuki members. Everyone looked at Chen, knowing that Chen must have something to announce. Chen Dao. I decided to change Akatsuki's policy from today. From today, we Akatsuki have only one goal, the pursuit of the true meaning of peace. The true meaning of peace. Everyone was startled. Yahiko and Nagato looked at Chen, especially Nagato, very puzzled. Chen nodded slightly and said, "What do you think of peace?" Of course there is no war, no scramble. Nagato does not hesitate. Nagato is an absolute peace lover. Yahiko frowned. But teacher, it is impossible to have no war. In today's ninja world, there are constant conflicts between countries, and it is almost impossible for us to end the war. Chen said, "That's right, so we want to unify the 5 countries." What? As soon as these words were said, everyone was shocked. Chen's just said that he wants to unify the 5 kingdoms. How could it be that not only Nagato, Yahiko, but even the two elders of Uchiha were dumbfounded. Only then did Chen know that Chen had such ambitions. Chen said lightly, "The current ninja world can't have peace at all, because each country fights its own way, and each country has contradictions with each other. That's the case. Then I will unify the 5 countries and unify the ninja world. In this way, there will be no strife among nations and no wars." Yes, this is Chen's true purpose and ambition. Chen's plan is to unify the ninja world. The ninja world is in turmoil, and if you want true peace, only by unifying the ninja world can you have this possibility. Of course, Chen is actually not for peace, but just to realize his own ambitions and ambitions. Boy, you. Six Paths in the Ring was shocked by the idea of Chen. Chen shrugged and communicated with the Six Paths Immortal with spiritual thoughts. "Old man, you should also know, no matter what you say that I have ambitions or it is for peace. In a word, only the unity of the ninja world can bring about the peace you hope for, otherwise it will never be possible." This Immortal Six Paths spoke, and then fell silent again, and had to admit that what Chen said made sense. But Chen is doing this for peace, or for his own ambition, the Six Paths Immortal, but he doesn't know. So, starting from today, Akatsuki's ultimate goal is only one, and that is to unify the ninja world. Chen said lightly. Unify the ninja world. When Chen said this, everyone was shocked. Brother Chen says what I will do. Conan was the first to speak, without hesitation. Makoto and Kushina also looked at Chen, with gentle eyes, expressing their support. Although the second and third elders were shocked, they were more excited. If the plan was true, then the Uchiha family would have reached the top of the ninja world. The second and third elders were still very interested in the development of the Uchiha family. A little excited. As for Nagato, Yahiko and the others, they were moved by Chen's peaceful words and nodded. Chen Yi smiled. From today, Akatsuki has been completely different. Everyone's support is the biggest motivation for my codewords. 362 The Great Ninja Earthquake, Konoha without Tatsuya. Today's Akatsuki is completely among Tatsuki's masters. Although Akatsuki was Yahiko's management all the time, everyone knows that the man in front of him is the one who really plays a decisive role. Kaku, too, Sasori, Conan felt a little excited when they heard Chen's decision to unify the ninja world. Kaku, too, and Sasori are both ambitious people. Of course I hope Akatsuki will become stronger and stronger. Conan felt that she could finally help Chen, and was excited about it. After Chen said all this, he smiled and said, "From today onwards, we will change Akatsuki's strategy, and everyone will listen to my actions." Yes. Everyone nodded and obeyed Chen's command. Chen gave a brief order, but now is not the time for Akatsuki to take full action. After all, the 5 countries are currently fighting, and Chen just needs to wait and move. Conan, Sasori, the two of you are closely monitoring all the developments in the ninja world for me. I need to include all the newsmaster. Chen rode. Yes. After speaking, Chen brought Kushina and Makoto to settle in the base. Chen's room was very spacious and had everything, but Chen felt a little guilty, and lightly hugged Makoto and Kushina's waist, sighed softly, they really wronged you. What's the matter? This place is better than I expected. Brother Chen, you seem to have a plan to betray the village. Makoto said with a smile, she and Chen are close relatives, but they can say it directly. The second elder, the third elder and others also saw that Chen established Akatsuki, and it seemed that they had planned to betray the village long ago, but they did not dare to say it. Chen lightly tapped Makoto's nose and said, "Well, in fact, I have already prepared for this. Konoha, I was disappointed in the end. The Konoha thing is over." Kushina chuckled and took Chen's arm. "We will be here, always with you." Well, of course. Chen smiled and hugged the two girls. Kushina and Makoto finally felt at ease when they saw Tatsu's arrangement in Akatsuki. Even though they left the village, it was the same for the two girls, and there was almost no difference. As long as he's here it's fine. Kushina secretly glanced at Chen's profile, with a silly smile on her face. Seeing Kushina's charming appearance, Chen felt even more cute, and kissed her fiercely, in exchange for Kushina's coquettish anger. Ah, it's not fair to kiss me suddenly, I'm going to kiss her back. Okay, let me give you a kiss. HMPH, it's almost the same, darling. Kushina stamped a sip on Chen's face and stopped. Makoto also joined in, and the three of them were very happy. The 5 Ninja Kingdoms. This day, all the Shikokushas except Konoha received an encrypted message. Different countries have different reactions, but one thing is the same, and that is shock. For this information, the filmmakers of the major countries have repeatedly confirmed it, and after confirming its authenticity, can they believe it? Konoha's first genius, maybe even the strongest genius in the ninja world, is recognized as a cage-level figure. Konoha's star legend Uchiha Chen actually betrayed the village. Uchiha Chen not only betrayed from Konoha, but also led nearly 200 Uchiha's ninjas to leave, shaking the ninja world. Unexpectedly, Uchiha Chen actually betrayed the village from Konoha. Before that, there was no sign at all. Tsuchikage building in the land of Earth. 2 days later, Onoki slammed the table, and after receiving this information, his face was full of excitement. As expected, God bless my country, I have never dared to attack Konoha in an all-round way. Just because I was afraid of Uchiha Chen, I didn't expect Uchiha Chen to be there. Betrayed the village. Those high-level officials in Konoha are really insane. Someone must have offended Uchiha Chen. Lord Tsuchikage, what should we do now? Beside, a ninja asked. We dispatched the whole army to quickly solve the Land of Thunder first, and then deal with Konoha with all our strength. 2 days, Onoki slapped the table and decided outright. Yes. Onoki personally led the team, and the whole army of Iwagakure village was dispatched to organize a total of nearly 10,000 ninjas. This was also the last force of Iwagakure village. Previously, the main target of Iwagakure's war was the Kingdom of Thunder, and because he was afraid of Uchiha Chen, he did not dare to go to war with Konoha. After all, the last time Chen defeated 10,000 Iwagakure with one, and broke through the siege of 10,000 Iwagakure, also brought an indelible shadow to the village of Iwagakure. The news of Chen's betrayal from Konoha, Onoki no longer had any scruples for 2 days, and led Iwagakure to attack the Kingdom of Thunder. The Kingdom of Thunder was also immersed in the news of Chen's betrayal from Konoha. Killer Bee and others were completely shocked. The news was confusing. The Land of Water was overjoyed, and began to move around the border between Konoha and the Land of Water, always ready to attack. Countries reacted differently, but although they responded differently, they were equally shocked by this incident. Without Uchiha Chen's ninja world, many people who were suppressed by Chen began to move, and the Land of the Land was the leader. Ninja earthquake. Because of Chen's betrayal, Konoha is also facing great pressure. He didn't dare to attack Konoha at first, and several countries that were intimidated by Chen all turned their attention to Konoha. Konoha's executives, led by Sarutobi Hiruzen, all complained in their hearts, and they hated Danzo to the extreme. It was Danzo who forced Chen away, otherwise how could it fall into such a situation? Crisis. Sarutobi Hiruzen is also full of remorse. Only after losing Chen did he know that Chen's role in Konoha was so great. It can be said that the pattern of the ninja world changed because of Chen alone. This time, the ninja world was even more chaotic, and chaos broke out. The village of Iwagakure is raging, the village of Kurigakure is about to move, and the village of Sunagakure, Konoha's ally, is still there, recovering, it can't help at all, and Konoha is in dire straits. There are still 4 chapters today. Ask for all your support, especially please subscribe more and give rewards. The more you subscribe, the more I will update. 3 things in reading. 363 Conan's intelligence. Please subscribe. The news of Chen Rebellion Village spread throughout the ninja world. Ninja world was shocked and shocked, all parties reacted, and the pattern of the ninja world changed dramatically because of Chen Yiren's news. In this regard, Conan, Sasori, Nagato and others admire Tatsu beyond words. Can make such a huge impact even by disappearing in the ninja world. Such as the god of ninja Senjuhashirama, such as Uchiha Madara, such as today's Chen. After Akatsuki, Chen was finally able to relax for a while. Although Chen betrayed the village, his influence on the entire ninja world was still immeasurable. Many people are also wondering and doubting, where did Chen go after he left Konoha, and Chen was always in Akatsuki's base, and he didn't go anywhere, just quietly waiting for the time to come. What is the timing, in Chen's view, is the Battle of Canopy Bridge. The Battle of Canopy Bridge can be said to be a keynote in the entire ninja world. After the Battle of Canopy Bridge, Uchiha Madara finally acted, letting Obito act in his place in the ninja world, controlling Akatsuki, Psychic Kyuubi Ninetales attacking Konoha, and later capturing Kyuubi Ninetales people Jinchuriki column a series of things, and so on, all happened from this. So Chen has been waiting for the Battle of Canopy Bridge. There is also a key reason, Uchiha Madara will finally appear after the Battle of Canopy Bridge. Chen also really wanted to meet the legendary ninja and find out, so he has been there all the time, to prepare for this day. The reason why Chen can't wait to improve his strength and get the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is for this moment. At this time, the country of rain is still raining constantly. Chen dressed in a black Yuri cloud dress, which is exactly Akatsuki's clothing, wearing a ring code named Zero, standing on a steeple building high in the land of rain, looking in the direction of Konoha in the distance, thinking. Over the past few days, I was stunned. In the sky, pieces of paper fell, forming the figure of a stunning woman, who was Conan. What, is Brother Chen still thinking about Konoha? There was a liveliness and playfulness in Conan's voice, not the usual coldness at all. Since Tatsu came to Akatsuki, Kananga has become more lively, but of course, it is still limited to Tatsu. At most, it will also appear close in front of Kushina and Makoto, and other people will never appreciate this beauty. Chen has long felt Conan's chakra, he shook his head and said, and, I have long been nostalgic for Konoha, just thinking about this ninja war. Oh. Conan walked up to Chen with a smile and whispered, Brother Chen, I have some important information here, do you want to listen? Of course. Chen. Raising his eyebrows, he finally became interested and looked at Conan. Conan was also a little more serious and said, I received two important pieces of information. The first one is, Iwagakure village dispatched the entire army after hearing the news of your betrayal by Brother Chen, led by Tsuchikage Onoki. 2 days of balance, and a total of nearly 10,000 Iwagakure surrounded the 3 generations of Reikage. 3 generations of Reikage fought hard, and after 3 days and 3 nights of fighting with more than 10,000 Iwagakure, they died of exhaustion, shaking the ninja world. 3 generations of Reikage are dead. Chen narrowed his eyes and his heart skipped a beat, but he wasn't too surprised. 3rd generation of Reikage also died like this in the original book, trapped by thousands of Iwagakure, fighting for 3 days and 3 nights, and died of exhaustion. After that, Ailinwei was ordered to become the 4th generation Reikage. But for now, I and Chen have a good relationship. 3rd generation of Reikage died, and I don't know how I and Killer Bee will react. Presumably the country of Thunder will also be turbulent because of this. Unexpectedly, this incident was actually caused by his own betrayal of the village. Because of his own betrayal of the village, only 2 days ago, Onoki dared to act so boldly. Well, the 3rd generation of Reikage is not like Brother Chen who can face 10,000 Iwagakure and retreat calmly. I must face 10,000 ninjas. In today's ninja world, except for Brother Chen, no one can do it. Conan raised his snow-white chin with pride. Chen smiled, looked at Conan's messy hair in front of him, and pulled it up for Conan. Conan smiled even sweeter and said, but the 3 generations of Reikage are also amazing, they can last for 3 days and 3 nights. Yes, a fierce one. Chen shrugged and commented. What's the other thing? Chen smiled and asked Conan. Conan said, another thing, after killing the 3 generations of Raikage, the village of Iwagakure attacked Konoha in a big way. Thousands of ninjas all entered the battle, and the Konoha battlefield was in an emergency. Comes. Chen's heart moved, and he looked in Konoha's direction again. Through the layers of rain curtains, there was a vast expanse, and he couldn't see it at all. Iwagakure village fully attacked Konoha, which means the Battle of Canopy Bridge is getting closer, because the Battle of Canopy Bridge is the confrontation between Konoha and Iwagakure. It's not long. Chen sighed softly and looked into the distance. What's wrong? Conan looked at Chen with some puzzlement, wondering what Chen said. Not much time. What does this mean? It's okay. Just feeling bored. Chen smiled. Conan wouldn't understand even if he said such a thing. More, ask for all support, thank Xiaojia, Wu Kaijufeng for the reward. 364. 4 more, ask for all support. Chen's body has an imperceptible chakra shield from beginning to end, resisting the rain. Conan was amazed to see that this requires extremely precise chakra control to be able to achieve this level, but Chen is doing it with ease at the moment. Is really amazing. Conan blinked his eyes in amazement, looking at Chen's eyes even more admiration. What are you looking at? Chen stroked Conan's long eyelashes and asked softly. Brother Chen, how strong are you? This is a question that Conan has been asking all the time, and he can't help but say it out of curiosity. This question made Chen stunned for a moment. Chen thought about it and said, from the perspective of today's ninja world, among the living people, I'm afraid there is only one person who is my opponent. Conan is a bit strange about Chen's name. There is only one person who is Chen's opponent, but Conan is more curious. There are still people who are Chen's opponents. Of course there will be. Chen smiled. Chen's confidence infected Conan. Conan kept nodding. I believe that Brother Chen must be the strongest. For automatic, for subscription, for reward. Chapter 4. 365 Battle of Canopy Bridge. The turmoil in the ninja world is even more unbearable. The Land of Wind has lost 3 generations of Kazekage and has not recovered. The Kingdom of Thunder lost the 3rd generation Raikage, I Chunggong became the 4th generation Raikage, and Killer Bee assisted, and the combination finally began to emerge in the ninja world. And the rest is the village of Iwagakure, the Land of Soil, headed by Onoki, the 2-day scale, to attack Konoha in an all-round way. Konoha hurriedly parried, and also sent almost all the ninja troops to the battlefield, and the two sides fought more and more fiercely. Chen sat in the country of rain, and felt the atmosphere of war approaching. Under this war, almost everyone is inevitably affected, and it is impossible to be alone. And just as Chen expected, just like in the plot, the Namikaze Minato team was also sent to the battlefield by the 3 generations of Hokage. The reason for the Battle of Canopy Bridge is very simple. Iwagakure village took advantage of Chen's betrayal of Konoha, and sent thousands of ninjas to pass through the village of Grass Ninja to raid the border of the country of fire. The situation was in danger. Once Iwagakure village succeeded, Konoha this time will face a huge crisis. Under such circumstances, Namikaze Minato was ordered to destroy the supply line of Iwagakure village, Canopy Bridge. So it had a huge impact on the entire war. If the supply line of the war can be destroyed, then the pattern of this war will be changed, and Konoha may be saved from fire and water. Chen got this information. He knew that it was time for him to act. Time has come. Chen informed everyone, temporarily handed Akatsuki's affairs to Yahiko, and then refused the company of Conan, Kushina and others, and went to the battlefield alone. Fortunately, everyone knows Chen's strength, but they don't have it. Leader of Akatsuki, Tatsu infiltrated this ninja war. Konoha frontier. Get 3 generations of Hokage's secret order, asked to cut. Breaking the supply line of Iwagakure village at Canopy Bridge, Namikaze Minato did not dare to neglect for a moment, and summoned the members of his squad. Kakashi and Rin arrived early, but another member of the team, Uchiha Obito, never came. Kakashi couldn't help but feel a little anxious. Rin also clasped his hands and prayed silently, hoping that Obito would come sooner. "Ah, I'm here, I'm here." In the woods, a voice came. Obito ran wild for a while, but accidentally tripped over a vine on the treetop, fell a dog gnawed at the mud, and rolled and crawled to the designated meeting point. In front, Namikaze Minato was still sitting with a gentle face, but Kakashi was impatient, and Rin was happy when he saw Obito's arrival. Obito scratched his head, lying on the ground a little embarrassed. "I'll catch up." "No, you're late." Kakashi snorted. "Do you know what time it is to gather? Since you have become a ninja, it is a matter of course to obey the promises and rules." "No, I was dragged by a hobbled old lady who was carrying Lee on the way and asked for directions and I got dust in my eyes." Obito quickly explained. "These are all lies," Kakashi said coldly. "Don't say that, Kakashi. I know what Obito is thinking." Namikaze Minato smiled. Obito nodded quickly. Their conversation, at this moment, was seen by a shadow. Chen stood hundreds of meters away, but still stared at everything clearly. The Battle of Canopy Bridge finally kicked off. 366 If I can become Hokage. "The two of you, stop arguing, get on with each other a little bit. Didn't you have a good relationship when Lord Kyanshin was here?" Seeing that Obito and Kakashi were arguing, Rin hurried up to persuade him, but suddenly realized his slip of the tongue and stopped abruptly. Sama's 3 words made Minato, Obito, and Kakashi startled, and they were all silent. Now the name of Chen, in Konoha is almost a taboo existence. The man who was once proud of Konoha and known as the Legend of the Stars, now makes all the ninjas in Konoha keep it a secret, and dare not even mention it. Namikaze Minato forced a smile, while Obito was completely silent. Kakashi paused and said, "Today is an important day for me." "Yeah, too. From today, Kakashi is a Jonin like me." When Namikaze Minato heard Chen's name, he forced a smile, and his thoughts were finally pulled back, but he just said, "For the efficiency of this mission, I decided to split into 2 groups with Kakashi. Because Konoha's fighting power has never been so low as it is now, this time, hey." Namikaze Minato sighed softly. Hearing Namikaze Minato's emotion, Obito, who has always been open-mouthed, said angrily, "HMPH, if Brother Chen hadn't left the village, how dare those Iwagakure come to attack Konoha? There are stars and legends around, even if there are 10,000 people in Iwagakure, we are not afraid." Seeing Obito mention Chen's name again, everyone was silent for a while. Namikaze Minato sighed slightly. "Yes, if Chen was here, where would you get these Iwagakure so arrogant?" Namikaze Minato sighed. The corner of his mouth was a bit bitter. Distance. The Sharingan in Chen's eyes is clearly visible. That smear of blood Yuhi is extremely bewitching, and the light belonging to the eternal Mangekyo is displayed, which is different and perfectly presented. Chen heard the conversation between Obito and others. A faint smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. This guy Obito is as reckless as ever. When Chen took the Uchiha clan away, Obito, Shisui, and others happened to be out on a mission, so they all didn't know what happened when Chen betrayed the village, let alone the specific reason why Chen betrayed the village. In the village are also very secretive about this, so that Obito does not understand the reason. "Obito, don't bring this up again." Kakashi rode. Obito snorted softly. "Kakashi, Brother Chen is the pride of our Uchiha clan, but he was suddenly called missing nin by people in the village. How can you make me forget?" Namikaze Minato patted Obito's shoulder and said, "Be quiet for a while, let's talk about this mission first. I promise you, as long as there is a chance, I will definitely let Chen go back to the village." "Really?" Obito looked at Namikaze Minato and nodded firmly. "If I can become Hokage, maybe I can bring Tatsu back." Distance. Chen's figure also moved slightly, and he felt a little emotional in his heart. Looking at this scene, he said softly to himself, "Minato, it's a pity, we can't go back. Chen looked up at the sky, his eyes were far away, as if he was thinking about something. Namikaze Minato pair. Chen is truly sincere, and others such as Tsunade are even more so. And Namikaze Minato started to explain the content of this mission. Namikaze Minato decided to split into 2 teams with Kakashi 3. Namikaze Minato fought on the front line to support the Konoha troops while attracting the attention of the enemy. The Kakashi Trio 3 went to blow up the Canopy Bridge and cut off the enemy's supply line. After learning the content of the mission, all 3 of Kakashi were seen with serious expressions on their faces. By the way, today is still the day when Kakashi was promoted to Jonin. I'll give you a present. Namikaze Minato smiled and took out a specially made kunai. Here, this kunai is a bit heavy, but it's good when you get used to it. The kunai that Namikaze Minato gave to Kakashi is a kunai with the mark of Hiraishin, so relying on the mark of Hiraishin, Namikaze Minato can also quickly support Kakashi and others. Thank you, teacher. Due to the death of White Fang, Kakashi's personality is still a little cold, and he just nodded lightly. Rin smiled and finally took out the gift. Here, this is my special medical kit. Thank you. Kakashi took it. Obito next to him was dumbfounded, because he had been talking about Chen all the time, but he didn't notice the promotion of Kakashi to Jonin, and only then did he react and said loudly, Kakashi. You are actually promoted to Jonin. Slow guy. Kakashi pouted. Obito jumped. I want to kill you, but I was promoted to Jonin before me. Gift. Kakashi reaches out for a present, but Obito doesn't, and the 2 quarrel again. Let Namikaze Minato and Rin both sigh, speechless to the 2 guys. Okay, start the mission operation. Namikaze Minato said a word to silence them. The 4 of Namikaze Minato approached Kusanagi village, and the terrain around them was getting more and more dangerous. Namikaze Minato looked around and shook his head. Be careful, there are many enemies ahead. Yes. Reason, Namikaze Minato was a little uneasy and looked around, then turned to look in the direction of Tatsuya. Oh, found me, Minato. Chen muttered to himself. He hid his figure and kept following behind Obito and the others. Chen's purpose this time, one is to witness Obito's death, and the other is to find Uchiha Madara through Obito. So Chen Kai has been following Obito and others. But inadvertently just now, Minato looked in his direction as if he had noticed him. Is it an illusion? Namikaze Minato inadvertently swept over Chen's position, shook his head slightly, muttered to himself, then swept his gaze to the battlefield, secretly saying, I'm really too busy today, how could he prepare, act. Namikaze Minato ordered. Today is still 4 shifts, please do your best. I want to subscribe for the 5th, 6th, and 7th updates. Goodbye 367 Chen and Minato. After Namikaze Minato gave the order, he suddenly only saw a low shout from Kakashi, a mass of thunder and lightning condensed in the center of Kakashi's palm, and the amazing condensation of chakra visible to the naked eye. Zitsa, Zizi. Lightning condensed in Kakashi's palm, bursting with tyrannical power. Namikaze Minato's pupils shrank. This technique is amazing chakra. Kakashi, have you finally become a master? Tatsu-sama-s ninjutsu. Rin opened his mouth in amazement. This. Obito was also amazed. Brother Chen's Reikiri. Really, so it was Chen who taught you this technique, Kakashi. Namikaze Minato was slightly surprised, and added, this ninjutsu is Chen's famous ninjutsu, and I didn't expect you to learn it. Kakashi said to himself, with this ninjutsu, the enemy in front should not be a concern, you all obey my command. Spoke, Kakashi rushed out first. Kakashi moved very fast. Namikaze Minato had already detected 20 enemies ahead, so Kakashi flickered one after another and used Reikiri to kill one named Iwagakure. One enemy after another was killed by Kakashi, but at the end, Kakashi encountered obstacles and was caught by the enemy, almost dying. Fortunately, Namikaze Minato rescued in time and killed the opponent. This ninjutsu. Obito looked at Kakashi enviously. As expected of Brother Chen's famous ninjutsu, it's amazing. Namikaze Minato solemnly warned Kakashi. Kakashi, I'm afraid you can't use this ninjutsu in the future, because it has great flaws. This ninjutsu requires high-speed movement to ensure lethality and penetration. The reason why Chen can use it freely, that's because he has Sharingan, which can be used to see through the enemy's movements when moving at high speed, but you, can't. Kakashi was silent for a while. He also felt the problem of this ninjutsu just now, but he didn't say it. I'll decide this myself. Kakashi was silent for a while, then said lightly. HMPH, why are you talking to Mr. Minato like that? Obito exclaimed indignantly. Namikaze Minato stopped Obito and persuaded him. Kakashi walked alone at the front, looking a little lonely from the back. Namikaze Minato sighed lightly, and when he was about to tell Obito the story of Konoha White Fang briefly, Obito then understood the reason for Kakashi's personality change. Okay, I can only send you here. The next thing is up to you. Namikaze Minato seriously instructed Kakashi, Obito, and Rin 3, and asked them to work together before preparing to leave. Kakashi took the three-person team of 3 and moved on. Namikaze Minato waited in place for a while, and when the 3 of Kakashi were gone, did they prepare for reinforcements. At this time, Namikaze Minato had a strange feeling in his heart, and he had a certain premonition, and once again looked at the direction where Chen was. In the dark, seeing the Namikaze water is not right, Chen's heart moved slightly. Could it be that Namikaze? This guy Minato really found that he was theoretically impossible. After all, the strength gap between Chen and Namikaze Minato is not small. Namikaze Minato can only be regarded as a medium cage level at present, while Chen's strength is already comparable to that of Uchiha Madara in the Sengoku era. Maybe not as good as Yongdun, Senju Hashirama with Sage Art fully open, but it's not much different. The two are not of the same level of strength, and theoretically Namikaze Minato could not find him. Namikaze Minato was also a little strange in his heart. He always had a strange feeling in his heart. Although everything around him was normal and he couldn't see the slightest difference, the feeling in Namikaze Minato's heart became stronger and stronger. I don't know if it's him. Namikaze Minato sighed, and then slowly walked towards Tatsu's hiding place. Chen took off the mask at this time. Facing the approaching Namikaze Minato, Chen could dodge completely, but he suddenly changed his mind and decided to meet Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato is different from the rest of Konoha. Namikaze Minato and Tatsu have been fighting side by side for nearly 10 years. The two have a deep relationship, and it does not affect Tatsu's next plans. Thinking of this, Chen took off his mask and hid the ring, so as not to reveal Akatsuki's identity, and then appeared in front of Namikaze Minato. Front of Namikaze Minato along with the familiar chakra, which shocked Namikaze Minato instantly. You. Namikaze Minato's eyes dilated. He didn't expect it to be as he expected. It's really Chen. Chen. Namikaze Minato's voice was full of surprises. It's been more than half a year since the last time Chen betrayed the village. For more than half a year, Namikaze Minato, Tsunade and others have not given up on the news of Chen. It's a pity that Chen seems to have completely disappeared from the ninja world. Not the slightest bit of information. Coupled with the tense war, Namikaze Minato was unable to take care of it in the end, so he could only put this matter aside. To see Chen again at this moment, Namikaze Minato was naturally surprised. Sure enough, it's you. I said why I feel a little familiar. How can you come to the battlefield? With my current status, of course I can go anywhere. Chen looked at Minato's surprised expression and shrugged. Namikaze Minato was startled, then smiled bitterly. Yes. That matter, Konoha is really sorry for you. Now Danzo has been deprived of his status, and the root organization has also been temporarily disbanded. Don't talk about the past. Chen rode. Danzo was indeed deprived of power this time, but Chen knew very well that Danzo was an uncompromising careerist and would make a comeback sooner or later. Chen is also very disgusted with Danzo, but now is not the time to kill Danzo. When the time comes, Chen will naturally go to Konoha to kill Danzo. Namikaze Minato moved his mouth, as if he didn't know what to say. Namikaze Minato was of course very excited when he saw Chen, but he also had a different kind of mood. You must have known about the crisis of Konoha this time. Hey, if you are still Konoha, I am afraid that our Konoha will be the strongest among the 5 countries. Minato sighed with emotion. Namikaze Minato has no doubts about the ability of this best friend in front of her, and she looks forward to it the most. 368 Actually, I'm here to find someone to fight. 4 more, ask for monthly pass. There's no going back, look at the forehead guard on my head. Chen smiled lightly and pointed to the crack on the forehead guard on his finger. Namikaze Minato felt unspeakable bitterness, but insisted, there must be a way, Chen, if I can become Hokage. Chen shook his head, this is the end of the matter, no need to say more. Minato remained silent. He could see that Chen's mind was very determined, and he had already made up his mind to betray from Konoha. Seeing Minato in a bad mood, Chen smiled and comforted him. Minato, just follow your own heart. It your dream to be a Hokage. It doesn't matter to me anymore, the current Konoha is no longer the Konoha in my heart. Minato nodded heavily and said, I will try to change. Minato knew that he couldn't talk to Chen now, so he could only give up persuasion, and said strangely, Chen, why did you appear on this battlefield this time? Minato is very aware of Chen's character, he never does useless things, and Chen must have some purpose in coming to the battlefield. It's to meet someone. Chen's words are concise and to the point. Meet someone. Minato was also very surprised. Chen nodded with a smile on the corner of his mouth. Well, I'm actually here to find someone to fight. Minato was completely stunned. He didn't know why. Chen actually wanted to find someone to fight in today's ninja world. Who else would be Chen's opponent? Namikaze Minato, but he saw Chen's full Susanoo state in his eyes and knew that Chen's power was even impure world reincarnation. First Hokage and second Hokage are by no means rivals. Could it be said that in today's ninja world, there are still people who would be Tatsu's opponent? Minato, with a complicated expression. He has been chasing Chen's footsteps, but gradually he feels that Chen is getting farther and farther away from him, and can't help but feel a little powerless. Minato, the battlefield is difficult and dangerous, it may be difficult for us to see each other again in the future, take care. Chen looked at Minato's expression and probably knew what Minato was thinking, so he said softly. Minato's heart moved slightly, and when he heard Chen say that, he nodded silently. Well, you also cherish it. Minato was running out of time and couldn't stay here, and nodded immediately. Chen smiled slightly, his figure flashed, and disappeared in place. Chen's instant body technique at this time is already superb, no worse than Minato's Hiraishin technique. After all, this instant body technique was taught by the old Six Paths man himself. Chen's figure disappeared, the place where the breeze was blowing, and the green grass swayed, as if no one had ever come. Namikaze Minato stayed silent for a while, sighed, and finally left, but his eyes became more determined, clenched his fists. He must become Hokage. Then, there must be hope to change Chen's things. Namikaze Minato thought so quickly, to go to war. Chen was still watching the battlefield, and followed behind the Obito trio. Soon, as in the original, there is a crisis. Rin is kidnapped by Iwagakure, and Obito and Kakashi disagree. Obito wants to rescue Rin, while Kakashi insists on completing the mission. The two quarreled, and eventually Obito was loud. Shouted, if you don't save Rin, then I'll do it myself. In my opinion, only those who can't save their comrades are trash. In my heart, Konoha White Fang is a great hero. Kakashi was stunned, completely standing there. Obito went to Rin alone, but accidentally fell into Iwagakure, trap and was ambushed by Iwagakure. At a moment like this, Kakashi suddenly appears to help Obito. Kakashi, you. Obito was very excited to see Kakashi's appearance. Don't talk about it, deal with the enemy. Kakashi rode. Chen saw everything in his eyes, and sighed slightly that he fought side by side with Minato and Naoki back then, but unfortunately, Naoki has died, and he and Minato have gradually drifted away. However, the Iwagakure who dealt with Kakashi and Obito is strong. But it is quite extraordinary, and he is considered to be the best among Jonin. The kunai in his hand pierced Kakashi's eyes, and at this critical moment, Obito tried his best to stimulate his potential. I only saw a touch of fishy yuhi in Obito's eyes. The fishy yuhi quickly spread and turned into a bloody yuhi. Sharingan. And it's a double tomo Sharingan. Chen nodded slightly. Obito seems to have an extraordinary talent in Sharingan. As soon as he opened his eyes, he was a double tomo, it was simply a person. No wonder that Obito was chosen by Uchiha Madara, and there is a reason. Obito you. Kakashi was shocked, and when he saw those eyes, he was shocked. These eyes are from the Legend of the Stars. You are a member of the Uchiha family, and like that Uchiha Chen, you belong to the Uchiha family. Enemy Iwagakure was also horrified and exclaimed loudly. Chen's reputation spread throughout the 5 kingdoms, almost no one knows Akatsuki, and the Uchiha family also shines because of Chen, and Chen has even become synonymous with Uchiha. This Iwagakure remembered the terrible legend of Uchiha Chen, and was suddenly frightened. Sharingan, I own Sharingan. Obito is a mixture of excitement and excitement. Next, let me protect Rin. Obito and Kakashi joined forces and finally defeated the Iwagakure, and then Obito relied on Sharingan to find the kidnapped Rin. Finally, Obito and Kakashi found a cave. Obito used Sharingan to analyze Rin's current situation. Rin's chakra disorder is different from yours and mine. Obito said towards Kakashi. I'm afraid it's demonic illusion imposed by the enemy, and I want to ask for information. Kakashi rode. Well, we have to solve it quickly. In the cave, Iwagakure, who kidnapped Rin, stared at Kakashi and Obito coldly. It doesn't look like an ordinary kid. Kakashi, do it. Obito shouted and shot at the same time as Kakashi, fighting the Iwagakure. Chen watched all of this, his eyebrows suddenly twitched. This Iwagakure's unexpected strength was not bad, it was close to the level of peak Jonin. Next, I'm afraid it will be Obito's death. 4th update, is there any automatic monthly pass or something? 369 Obito's death, Black Zetsu White Zetsu appears. Obito and Kakashi were ready to fight, and they quickly fought the Iwagakure. Although that Iwagakure was like an ant in Tatsuya's eyes at the moment, it was still scary to Kakashi and Obito. Obito and Kakashi were attacking Iwagakure frantically, but Iwagakure was also able to do it with ease, showing a strong chakra. 3 of them fought fiercely for a while, and Kakashi shouted, Obito, go save Rin first. Good. Obito and Kakashi seized the opportunity, finally found a gap, took advantage of the number of people to get rid of Iwagakure first, and then went to Rin's side together to rescue Rin. Too naive, I didn't see that I was deliberately asking you to save her. This is destined to be your burial place. Iwagakure gave a cold drink, and Hand Seal said, Doden Earth style, the rock house collapses. Only a loud bang was heard, and the cave began to roar, and stones kept falling. But this Iwagakure used the instant technique to leave quickly. The earth trembled, and stones fell with a bang. Obito took Rin's hand, and Kakashi changed his face. Run, get out of here. Damn, go. The 3 of Obito, Rin, and Kakashi all started to run wildly. The ground trembled continuously, the ground trembled so violently, and the air solidified with it. Run, run. But Kakashi was a little slower at this time. Under the vibration of the ground, he didn't take a step and fell directly to the ground. Kakashi. Although he often bickers with Kakashi on weekdays, at this critical moment, it is Obito who cares about Kaka the most. Obito shouted and ran in front of Kakashi. Boom! At this time, a big rock in the cave fell, and Obito's mind was blank at the moment of the call. He could only think of throwing Kakashi out, and then he took a step slower. Boom! The boulder hit, and the sound pressed down on Obito's body, and the surrounding dust was flying. Dust dissipated, Kakashi and Rin were confused, looking for Obito, but when they found Obito, they were stunned. I saw that Obito was completely crushed by the boulder, motionless, and even his eyes began to collapse. Obito. Kakashi was so nervous, he rushed forward and pushed the boulder hard, but he couldn't push it. It's useless, Kakashi, I can feel like I'm dying, half of my body is almost crushed to pieces. Obito spoke with difficulty, his consciousness a little blurred. Don't, why? Rin couldn't stop crying. Time is running out, you go first. Obito thought for a while, and said with difficulty. No, don't. Rin said sobbing. Damn. Kakashi hung down hard and yelled, completely unwilling. By the way, Kakashi, today is your promotion day to Jonin, I haven't given you a present yet. Rin, do me a favor, I want to give my eyes to Kakashi, half of the body is crushed, but there is a one in the eye, which can replace the eye pierced by Iwagakure for Kakashi. Kakashi says. Don't speak. And Rin was mumbling even more, not daring to look at Obito. Come on, what are you still hesitating about? Kakashi, I'm going to die, Rin will take care of you in the future. 10,000 and my share together. Obito spoke weakly and intermittently. Kakashi tried hard not to let himself cry, only nodding forcefully. Ha, don't cry, brother Chen, I finally became a hero today. Obito thought of Chen and muttered to himself. Distance, Chen's body also moved slightly, and after all, he let out a sigh. This is Obito's own choice, and Chen doesn't intend to interfere. Rin hesitated, and finally changed Obito's Sharingan to Kakashi. In this state, Kakashi got a new Sharingan. Kakashi bit Kiba, didn't dare to look at Obito at all, and took Rin out of the cave. Kakashi and Rin leave. On the spot, Obito was the only one who was still held down by the boulder. Am I going to die? Obito muttered to himself, slowly closed his eyes, fell into a dying state, and his consciousness began to blur. The Battle of Canopy Bridge has finally entered its final stage. Chen's eyes were far-reaching and meaningful, but he still stayed where he was, without any movement, not even intending to go up to help Obito. Because Chen knew that he should wait at this time. Soon someone will come. Because not only him, but also a pair of eyes watching the battlefield just like him, paying attention to every move on the battlefield, the unhurried layout. Sure enough, not as expected. After just a moment, I saw a black figure emerging from the ground. This black figure emerged from the hole, and finally I could see the face clearly. Black shadow appeared, the shape was like a tree, and the body was even more bizarre, half black and half white, like two people who were completely similar and opposite. The owner of this shadow is Black Zetsu and White Zetsu, and it is also the eyes of Uchiha Madara in the ninja world at present. As expected by Madara, this kid has extraordinary potential. At a critical moment, Sharingan opened his eyes. It's a pity that he actually gave Sharingan to that kid. Black Zetsu's low voice sounded, and he hummed softly. Yes, it's a pity that a pair of eyes is enough. White Zetsu's voice is also very strange. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu have been following Obito silently before. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are very good at hiding, so they have never been discovered. Of course, Chen knew that they existed. White Zetsu is fine, but Black Zetsu is the object of Chen's constant vigilance. After all, Black Zetsu's right-hand man named Uchiha Madara is actually the third son, created by Kagaya. Move this boulder away, we'll take this kid to Madara-sama, I'm afraid Madara-sama can't wait. White Zetsu said in a low voice. All right. Black Zetsu gave a sinister smile and nodded. And at this moment, Chen was finally ready to show up. Please support. 370 Black Zetsu, Yin-Yang escape. Just as Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were about to carry Obito away, Tatsu finally prepared to show up. I only saw that in the cave, a chakra that belonged to Chen alone spread out. Who? Black Zetsu and White Zetsu keenly sensed the crisis, and they were all stunned for a moment, and suddenly looked up at Shang Chen with a bit of horror in their eyes. Chen's chakra was leaked on purpose just now, but it gave Black Zetsu and White Zetsu a sense of shock. Both of them could feel a deep sea of chakra. This kind of feeling has only been seen on one person. That is Uchiha Madara. But Uchiha Madara is impossible to appear now, so Chen, the master of this chakra, did not hide, and directly showed his true face, appearing in front of Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. It's you. White Zetsu and Black Zetsu looked at each other and were shocked, because it was Chen who was standing in front of them. Of course, they knew better about Chen. At the end of World War II, White Zetsu and Black Zetsu even went to the battlefield and saw it with their own eyes. I saw Chen's actions. Of course it's me. Chen lightly smiled. Is there any problem? Both Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were silent, and they were even more surprised. They had also been paying attention to the ninja world. How could they not know Chen's name? Chen's strength was absolutely unfathomable, and even Uchiha Madara was slightly jealous of him, let alone Black Zetsu and White Zetsu too. Black Zetsu smiled. It turned out to be a famous legend of the stars in the ninja world, but I don't know why Your Excellency is here. Black Zetsu, White Zetsu. Chen said softly. You. Black Zetsu White Zetsu was surprised. Their identities were secret, but they were revealed by the young man in front of him. How much did he know? During the last ninja war, you watched the battle from a distance. Chen chuckled lightly. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were even more stunned. The last time they were watching the battle from a distance, they thought Chen didn't notice it, but now it seems that this young man has already known everything about Akatsuki, but he just didn't say it. What do you want to do? Black Zetsu and White Zetsu took a step back, looking at Chen with great vigilance, their voices low and harsh, with hostility. Don't worry, I'm not here to stop you from saving Uchiha Obito. On the contrary, I am here to help you, but I have conditions. Chen shrugged. What conditions? Take me to meet Uchiha Madara. Chen rode. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu took another step back. If their eyes were surprised when they looked at Chen just now, then now Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are completely shocked. Not only surprised, but also a trace of this mysterious star legend. Not only know they know more about Madara, what the hell is going on and who is he? Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are full of doubts. Why, you don't agree? Eyes, looking at Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu were all very surprised, and finally Black Zetsu asked in a low voice, Uchiha Chen, what do you know? Black Zetsu is extremely vigilant. How much secret does Chen know about Chen's situation? Not only knowing the identities of him and White Zetsu, but also knowing that Uchiha Madara is still alive. Chen smiled mysteriously, with a calm expression. I know everything I should know, I shouldn't. I know it, and I know it all. Quote. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu immediately felt Tatsu's difficulty. Can't let him go to see Madara. Sama, Madara-sama's current physical condition, I'm afraid. White Zetsu whispered. Black Zetsu understood. Well, I have to take this kid away first. Black Zetsu White Zetsu made a move and slammed away the boulder that was holding Obito. With a bang, the boulder flew out, only to hear a loud bang, and the boulder rolled to one side, revealing Obito's body. Chen squinted his eyes and saw that Obito's body was covered in scars. It was true that half of his body was crushed by this huge stone. If he didn't get treatment, he would definitely die. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu moved quickly, trying to take Obito away before Tatsu was not paying attention. Actually under my hand, ready to act. Chen squinted his eyes and laughed at himself. It seems that people are really underestimated. White Zetsu, you go first. That kid goes, I'll deal with Uchiha Chen. Black Zetsu's body separated and stood in front of Tatsu, trying to resist White Zetsu. White Zetsu nodded quickly, hugged Obito and left quickly. Chen meets Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu smiled confidently. Uchiha Chen, although you are amazing, but I'm afraid you can't do anything about me, my body is rather special. Chen interrupted Black Zetsu impatiently. Yes, then let's try. Black Zetsu is created by Kagaya Heime's will, and the body is indeed very special. Ordinary ninjutsu can't kill Black Zetsu at all. If you want to kill Black Zetsu, only through sage art, taijutsu, or yin and yang escape is possible. Sage art and Teishu Chen are not good at it, but a trace of chakra appeared all over the body of Yin-Yang Dunma Chen, and the chakra burst out. The yang escape chakra accompanied Sharingan's yin escape, and the two merged with each other to form a yin and yang escape. You are yin and yang, how would you know? Black Zetsu was shocked, and Chen was extremely stunned. Chen seemed to see his weakness at a glance, and used yin and yang to deal with him. How could it be that Black Zetsu couldn't understand, and was completely stunned? Yin and yang escape, Chidori. Chenjo was surrounded by thunder and lightning, forming a Chidori of yin and yang. At this time, Chidori, like the Chidori shown in the original book after Sasuke got the power of yin, produced a nature transformation, turning into a black-silver color, exuding thunder and lightning. Black Zetsu's pupils shrank. He didn't expect that his weakness would be seen through by Chen in an instant, and now he doesn't even have the mind to fight, because Chen's strength is very terrifying. Black Zetsu didn't want to cause trouble, and with a sudden flash, his figure disappeared from the ground. Uchiha Chen, goodbye. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu are not good at anything else, but the skills of escaping and hiding are top-notch. Black Zetsu burrows into the ground and disappears in an instant. 371 Uchiha Madara. Please subscribe. Black Zetsu's figure disappeared from the ground in an instant, and Black Zetsu's figure disappeared, causing Chen's eyes to narrow again. This Black Zetsu, the response is really not so quick. NT beat it, just run away. Black Zetsu's strength is only above the ordinary cage level, and it is very difficult to deal with. Although he is afraid of yin and yang, his ability to escape is also top-notch. Chen narrowed his eyes, analyzing the strength of Black Zetsu. In the original book, Black Zetsu even managed to smack Madara at the last moment and successfully summoned Kagaya Heim. Such a role will never be underestimated by Chen. Black Zetsu left quickly, and White Zetsu was long gone. Chen squinted his eyes, but he was actually there. He remained motionless, seemingly in no hurry to catch up with Black Zetsu and White Zetsu. White Zetsu hugged Obito and fled quickly, still a little scared in his heart. He was really shocked by the powerful strength that Chen showed. This star legend is really terrible. At first, it was only a normal cage-level strength, but now White Zetsu thought about it and quickly infiltrated the secret underground base where Madara was located. He must tell Madara the news, otherwise, Mayfly technique. White Zetsu uses his own unique ninjutsu. This ninjutsu can make White Zetsu's body integrate with the earth, move underground at high speed, and can cut off all breath, preventing being detected and perceived by ninjutsu. White Zetsu's body penetrated the ground and dived into the ground. At this time, Black Zetsu's figure also caught up, and he also used a similar ninjutsu to act at the same time as White Zetsu. Hey, you came back so soon. Uchiha Chen. White Zetsu asked suspiciously. Black Zetsu still had some lingering fears. His eyes flickered, and he said, Uchiha-chan was temporarily thrown away by me. His strength is still beyond my imagination, and I don't know why. It is incredible to know so many secrets. White Zetsu was also surprised, but finally heaved a sigh of relief. Just get rid of him. I am afraid he will catch up. Let's hurry up and report to Madara-sama. Oh, are you talking about dumping me? At this time, a slightly playful voice sounded. White Zetsu and Black Zetsu were stunned at the same time. only to see a figure appearing from behind them. But it wasn't Chen who was White Zetsu and Black Zetsu. Startled, White Zetsu said in horror, "How did you keep up with you?" Black Zetsu and White Zetsu thought that their ability to escape was first-rate, and they both saw Xiao Chen with their own eyes. How could they be caught up by him in an instant? It's totally unreasonable. Chen smiled. You didn't know there was shadow clone this kind of ninjutsu. I set up the shadow clone long before you moved, so your every move is under the supervision of my shadow clone. Thanks to you, I found this place. Quote. Both Black Zetsu and White Zetsu thought it was absurd. Did the person in front of me expect them to appear? So I arranged shadow clone in advance. You are teasing me that shadow clone can pass information to the main body, a very convenient ninjutsu to spy on intelligence. Chen's mastery of ninjutsu can be described as skillful, and naturally he will not miss such an opportunity. Ignoring the vigilant Black Zetsu, White Zetsu, looking around the cave. This cave is not often huge, and it is formed naturally, only thousands of meters in radius. The surroundings were pitch dark and monotonous, but a huge object in the center caught Chen's attention. Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, is a huge humanoid with 9 eyes, a color and body like a dead tree, and 10 Jinchuriki column-like protrusions on the back. Like 10 tails that 10 tails broke off. Chen finally saw the strongest psychic thing in the Hokage world, and when he moved, he only felt a surge of chakra nurtured in Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. It seems that there are 9 completely different powers, which makes Chen slightly surprised. It seems that this is a part of the chakra left by Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, which contains the power of tailed beasts. This Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, is full of pipes, and White Zetsu are hanging from the pipes, and these White Zetsu are transported chakra. At the same time, in the middle, sat an old man with white hair, about to die. This old man had long hair, but his face was resolute, and he couldn't see his demeanor. He only knew that his eyes were closed, as if he was in a drowsiness. Uchiha Madara. Chen finally met this Uchiha's legendary figure. Madara-sama. White Zetsu woke up from the shock and shouted, as if trying to remind Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara slowly woke up from her deep sleep and opened her eyes. But what is surprising is that in Uchiha Madara's eyes, there is only one Sharingan, and the other is very empty and has no eyes. Uchiha Madara opened his eyes, as if a tiger woke up from a slumber. A majestic breath revealed, it appeared suddenly and faced Chen. Chen and Uchiha Madara's eyes crossed in midair. Both of them were slightly startled, but they responded quickly. Looks like a visitor is coming from afar. Compared with White Zetsu and Black Zetsu, Uchiha Madara looked extremely calm, and said lightly, "You really have a pair of good eyes, Uchiha Chen." Undoubtedly, Uchiha Madara was very aware of Chen's identity and called out Chen's name as soon as he opened his mouth. Sharingan at this time is already in the eternal Mangekyo state. After Uchiha Madara noticed it, there was a slight fluctuation in his eyes, and he sighed slightly. Uchiha Madara. Chen looked at Uchiha Madara. Standing in front of Uchiha Madara, Chen had a strange feeling, as if crossing time and space, to the Sengoku era of Hokage, felt a might and unyielding will. Uchiha Madara in front of him is indeed such a heroic character. Looks like you know my identity, Black Zetsu, White Zetsu, you guys should treat Obito's injury first. Uchiha Madara glanced at Black Zetsu and White Zetsu, and gave a light command. Yes. Black Zetsu and White Zetsu did not dare to neglect and went to heal Obito's injury. Obito's injury is too serious to be delayed for a moment. Since you know my identity, you must have come prepared. Uchiha Madara looked at Shang Chen again and waved casually, "Sit." Madara is on the scene, is there any? 372 Uchiha Chen and Uchiha Madara. 4 more, ask for all support. Sit. Uchiha Madara ordered casually, but there was a condescending attitude in her tone, as if she was instructing her subordinates. Uchiha attitude made Chen frown slightly. Of course I came prepared. Chen didn't sit down, but looked at Geto-Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, and sighed. As this Geto-Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, the legendary Ten Tails. Looks like you also saw the stone tablet at the Nenga shrine of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Madara's eyes moved slightly. That's right, with your pupil power, you can indeed decipher the stone tablet of Nenga shrine. Two forces repel each other, and each other is one, and we can get Shinra Bansho, all creation. Uchiha Madara whispered a sentence, and Chen also remembered this sentence, which is exactly what was written on the stone tablet of Nenga shrine. Chen did not look at the stone tablet of Nenga shrine, because this stone tablet was originally written by the Six Paths Immortal, and Chen has the Six Paths Immortal in the ring, so it is impossible to interpret it. Moreover, the stone tablet of Nenga shrine was later tampered with by Black Zetsu, and many parts on it were wrong, such as the stupid, infinite Tsukuyomi plan. Of course, when Black Zetsu tampered with the stone tablet, it wasn't completely tampered with. Otherwise, it is absolutely impossible to deceive Uchiha Madara. Lies should be 7% true and 3% false. Therefore, the phrase, two forces repel each other, and each other is one, can get Shinra Bansho, all creation, is the real content of the stone tablet. Uchiha Madara also obtained Senju Hashirama's cells according to this proverb, and thus opened Rinnegan when his birthday was approaching, so he believed in the records on the stone tablet. Chen shrugged. It's just a stone tablet, so what if I saw it? Unexpectedly, the Uchiha family could produce a junior like you after a few years. Uchiha-chan, you may not know, I have been following you all the time. Uchiha Madara said something that surprised Chen. Oh. Chen raised his eyebrows. He was not in a hurry, and just sat down casually at this time. It turned out to be sitting on the ground, sitting side by side with Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara also raised her eyebrows, and when she saw Chen's movements, she frowned slightly, then stretched it out, and said lightly, HMPH, in the ninja world, there is only one person who can sit side by side with me, and that is Senju Hashirama. But now you do have this qualification. After Chen opened the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, he was indeed qualified to sit side by side with Uchiha Madara. Chen smiled without saying a word. Uchiha Madara then said in a strange tone, since your childhood, I have been paying attention to your growth, thinking that your potential is extraordinary, and maybe you will be able to join forces with me in the future. Pity that I found out later that you are not a person who is willing to be subservient to others, and you are very assertive, not the type that I can master. Chen's heart skipped a beat. It turned out that Uchiha Madara had already made it. Thinking about it, too, every move in the ninja world, I am afraid that few can hide from Uchiha Madara. I understand that what you need is a pawn in full control and in your place. Chen said lightly. Uchiha Madara frowned. Oh, you know very well. Of course, don't forget that I have also seen the Uchiha steel and know about your Eye of the Moon plan. Chen rode. In fact, Chen was informed by the content of the plot, but at this time he shied away from the stone tablet. Uchiha Madara nodded slightly, but I really didn't expect that your growth rate would be so fast, even surpassing the original me and Hashirama. What puzzles me the most is that you actually opened the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. You and I are both members of the Uchiha family. It is not surprising to know the method of opening the Eternal Mangekyo, but the opening of the Eternal Mangekyo requires the eyes of the brothers and relatives to change the eyes, but you open your eyes directly, which is what puzzles me the most. Uchiha Madara said lightly. For Chen, Uchiha Madara has also been paying attention to Chen, and the most doubtful place for Chen is how Chen opened the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Chen secretly laughed, but on the surface he was calm. Because my Sharingan is different from ordinary people, there are no ordinary restrictions. Oh. Uchiha Madara was noncommittal, but after careful consideration, he found that what Chen said seemed to be right. His Sharingan is indeed different from ordinary people. The most obvious is the dazzling golden color of Susanoo, Chen's Susanoo quality and potential are extraordinary, Uchiha Madara also knows. Chen saw that Uchiha Madara was lost in thought, and laughed secretly. He would not reveal the fact that the Six Paths Immortal was the Golden Finger. This is his biggest trump card. The two were silent for a while, and Uchiha Madara spoke first. Over the years, I have been in layout, ninja world, everything is in my master, but your appearance is a variable. Chen smiled lightly. I see and talk about variables. I am also qualified to participate in the real battle on the battlefield. Since Chen's goal is to unify the ninja world, then Uchiha Madara in front of him, Obito in the future, and Kagaya Haim and others will all be Chen's opponents. Regardless of is the infinite Tsukuyomi plan or the resurrection of Kagaya Haim, it will be a hindrance to Tatsu. Playing chess alone is really a bit boring. Especially after Hashirama's death, I was all alone in the layout, and it was boring. Now I finally have a decent opponent. Uchiha Madara looked at Chen and actually recognized the identity of Chen's opponent. However, Uchiha Madara's tone was arrogant and heroic. Although she regarded Chen as her opponent, Uchiha Madara seemed to be sure that she would win in the end. Uchiha Madara laughed loudly, with an indescribable arrogance. His white hair also danced with the wind. He looked like an old man in his waning years, but his arrogance were incomparably sharp, the same as before, vaguely recognizable. He came out of the Sengoku era, how reckless and calm. Chen stared at Uchiha Madara for a while, also smiled, and was extremely confident. Of course it is a good thing to have more opponents, but the winner is always me. Uchiha Madara's laughter stopped for a while, looking at Chen's self-confidence. Her eyes lit up. Uchiha Chen, you are quite confident. Ask for an automatic, ask for a reward. Way. 373 Cooking Wine on Heroes. Uchiha Madara's laughter stopped for a while, looking at Chen's self-confidence. Her eyes lit up. Uchiha Chen, you are quite confident. Of course. Chen said lightly. Uchiha Madara and Chen sat side by side and looked at each other. Chen faced Uchiha Madara without giving in, which made Uchiha Madara's eyes move slightly. Uchiha Madara laughed again. Okay, I didn't expect another real boy from the Uchiha family. Chen's evaluation of a real man made Chen slightly startled, and then he smiled. It seems that in the eyes of Uchiha Madara, the rest of the Uchiha clan are not even men. But think about it, when Uchiha Madara ran away from Konoha, he was also indirectly betrayed by the Uchiha family, and he also hated the Uchiha family in his heart. It's a pity that there is no wine, otherwise, it would be a shame to get the evaluation of the most outstanding person in the Uchiha family before. Chen rode. The most outstanding person ever. Uchiha Madara snorted softly, and seemed a little dissatisfied with the word. What do you mean by the most outstanding person before? Could it not be after that? Chen said lightly. Of course, the most outstanding person in the Uchiha clan in the future will be me. Chen's tone was flat and convincing. Uchiha Madara was stunned for a moment, but was surprisingly silent, and smiled half-soundingly. I heard the news that you betrayed Konoha, and you were able to take away more than 200 people of Uchiha's clan, which is better than what I was in the past. I left Konoha after I left time, but alone. Chen shrugged. This is not my ability, it's just that the times have changed. Uchiha clan now recognize the face of the high-level Konoha, and will naturally follow me. And when you were, Senju Hashirama was Hokage, and everyone trusted him. Hearing Chen's mention of Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Madara sighed softly. Yeah, you see this clearly. Hashirama, he is the most impartial and upright in everything he does, and there will never be any falsehood. Words. Uchiha Madara was full of admiration for Senju Hashirama. Chen secretly said, Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara are really good friends. Both of them have high evaluation of each other and never say bad things about each other. Uchiha Madara smiled lightly and said, didn't you just say you want to drink, but I actually have some sake here. While speaking, Uchiha Madara ordered White Zetsu to bring wine, and after a while, White Setsu actually brought out 2 jars of sake. Chen never thought that Uchiha Madara had prepared such a good thing, and immediately smelled it. It was also a good wine, and he took a sip without hesitation. Refreshing, it melts in your mouth. Chen has endless aftertastes. The corners of his mouth twitched into a smile, and he couldn't help thinking to himself, this is really a bit like cooking wine and talking about heroes. Chen and Uchiha Madara met for the first time. Chen lived to know Uchiha Madara, and Uchiha Madara also paid close attention to Chen's growth for a time, so the two were not unfamiliar with each other, and even had a sense of familiarity after meeting. Uchiha Madara also took a sip of wine. Uchi is not as elegant as Chen, but he is simply a boozy drinker. Fresh air. Chen glanced at Uchiha Madara and said, I'm afraid I'm relying on Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to maintain my life. It's really okay to drink like this. I'm not as vulnerable as you think. I'm Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara said lightly. Think about it too. Don't look at Uchiha Madara's old appearance now, but Chen is sure that he must have a backer, which is why Chen has always been afraid of Uchiha Madara, and only came here after opening Eternal Mangekyo. Looking at the current ninja world, there is finally a real man and a dancer, and it is a bit interesting. Uchiha Madara said lightly. Chen's heart moved. Oh, so in your eyes, apart from you and me in the current ninja world, no one can enter your eyes. HMPH, they are all turkeys, like ants, how can they get into the eyes? Uchiha Madara said coldly, from the Sengoku era to now, so many years have passed, and it is Senju Hashirama and you, who can be regarded as the people who have caught my eye. Uchiha Madara is arrogant, confident, and arrogant by nature. But it is undeniable that Uchiha Madara is indeed an arrogant capital. If nothing else, the strength that surpasses everyone is enough to laugh at the ninja world and reach the top. At present, only Chen, who opened the Eternal Mangekyo, and Senju Hashirama, who he had been longing for before, were seen in his eyes. Senju Tobarama, he's not bad either. Chen said casually. Knew that Uchiha Madara sneered. The strength is good, but the character is small, I am ashamed to be with him. It can be said that it was Senju Tobarama who forced Uchiha Madara away, and he certainly did not have the slightest affection for Senju Tobarama. Chen came to be interested, but wanted to hear Uchiha Madara's evaluation of everyone in the ninja world. 3 generations of Raikage died at the hands of 10,000 Iwagakure, but he was a real man. Chen smiled. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. It's just a man without a plan. What about the 2-day scale Onoki? Uchiha Madara's eyes moved. Although Jinten particle style is around, the 2-day scale Onoki doesn't know how to use it at all. His strength is acceptable, and he can be regarded as half a person in the ninja world that can be seen. Uchiha Madara's evaluation of the 2-day scale Onoki is quite good. Chen smiled. Uchiha Madara's eyes are really high. The strength of the 2-day scale Onoki is already the best in today's film, but in Uchiha Madara's eyes, it is only half. And Hanzo of the Salamander. Chen said again. Uchiha Madara is even more disdainful. The strength is unsatisfactory, the ambition is empty, the capricious, also worthy of being called a demigod. Uchiha Madara disapproved of Hanzo of the Salamander's title of demigod, and was very disdainful. Chen stroked his palm and smiled, as I intended. The demigods of the ninja world today, if I really want to talk about it, it should be you and me. Chen self-confidence. 374 Looking at the world, I am the only one. What is a demigod? In Chen's view, if a strong person who reaches the level of the 6 paths immortal is the god of the ninja world, then the strong person who is second only to the 6 paths can be called a demigod. Such a legendary ninja, only Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Madara can be called the powerhouse. Others, even if they are as strong as Senju Tobarama, can only be regarded as the apex of ordinary cage level, and they are still some distance away from the demigods. And today's Chen, after possessing the Eternal Mangekyo and opening the full-body Susanoo, has also reached this threshold and can be called a demigod. Yes, in today's ninja world, if there is really a demigod, then there are only you and me, who can be called demigods. Uchiha Madara agreed with Chen's statement, raised his head and took a big mouthful of drinking again, as if very happy, and sighed. Since Hashirama died, no one has been able to sit down and talk to me on an equal footing for a long time. You are the first, and probably will be the same. The last one. Chen smiled and said, it seems that I should really be happy. Uchiha clan, most of the people are following you now. I really can't think of it. From this point of view, you are indeed better than me. Uchiha Madara said lightly. Chen shrugged. It's a matter of course for future generations to surpass predecessors, so just accept your fate. Fate. Uchiha Madara snorted and said proudly, I never accept my fate. Sure enough, it was Uchiha Madara's answer, it really suits your personality. Chen stroked his palms and sighed. Chen was considered to have seen Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, the two most apex existences in the ninja world at present. Both left a deep impression on him. It is really a metaphor. Then the Uchiha Madara in front of him is like a big mountain, awe-inspiring, oppressive, and extremely arrogant by nature. Can impress him. That such a person becomes the strongest of Sengoku. Senju Hashirama is another kind of character. Senju Hashirama is like water, gentle, just and peaceful, like a saint mentality, giving everything for peace and ideals. The water seems peaceful, but when angry, it can overturn everything, even more terrifying than Uchiha Madara. These two have completely different personalities, but they are both above the pinnacle of ninjas. They are the two strongest ninjas in the ninja world, leading countless ninjas to yearn and light up their longing. Chen saw the two of them in the recent period of time, and his blood was also surging. Now, he is finally qualified to stand at the top of the ninja world, to chase, and even surpass the footsteps of these two. The surging blood in Chen's heart, it is already unparalleled. Today's Chen has reached the top of the world step by step, and is getting closer and closer to the top of the ninja world. Looking at the ninja world today, it is true that there are not many people who are Chen's opponents, so they can be called demigods. But among so many people, the one I despise the most is you. Uchiha Chen. At this time, Uchiha Madara spoke up. Oh. Chen looked at Uchiha Madara with a hint of doubt. Uchiha Madara said, Uchiha Chen, your talent and aptitude are the best I have ever seen in my life. Strength has grown rapidly, even surpassing me and Hashirama at the beginning. It's just that I really don't understand what your purpose is. Chen shrugged. My purpose is just to pursue the strongest power in the ninja world. Chen's words made Uchiha Madara frown even more, and Uchiha Madara shook her head slightly in pursuit of the strongest power in the ninja world. If this is the case, the two will inevitably become enemies in the future. No, it should be said that it is already the enemy now. Chen's appearance made Uchiha Madara extremely surprised, and it could even be said that even Uchiha Madara could not see through him. If there is anyone in today's ninja world who can make Uchiha Madara feel mysterious, it is Chen. Uchiha Madara felt a little surprised because of Chen's strength and trump cards. Chen shrugged, smiled slightly, and looked at Uchiha Madara again. We have evaluated so many people in the ninja world, but you haven't evaluated yourself yet. Uchiha Madara, how do you see yourself? Chen was also very curious about this. The legendary figure of the Uchiha clan answer. Uchiha Madara proudly said, Murderous, if no one looks at the world, I am the only one. Murderous, like no one else, looking at the world, I am the only one. The blood boiled with these words, so Chendu couldn't help shaking his heart. He drank heavily, and then said with admiration, well said, really worthy of Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara's arrogance are indeed soaring into the sky, and his power far exceeds all the ninjas in the world, and he is indeed qualified to rank at the top of the ninja. Seeing Chen's admiration, Uchiha Madara snorted softly and drank a sip of sake. Soon, I saw that these 2 jars of sake were almost finished by Chen and Uchiha Madara. The distance, while White Zetsu and Black Zetsu are helping Obito to heal the body with Hashirama's cells, it is quite strange that Madara-sama has been chatting with this Legend of the Stars for so long, and the two seem to be having a good time with each other. What a hell, Uchiha Madara, with you as an opponent, the future ninja world will not be lonely at all. Chen smiled. You have your infinite Tsukuyomi plan, and I also have mine. Let's see, who will master the future ninja world? Of course it's me. Uchiha Madara answered without hesitation, arrogant as always. Yes, but don't answer too soon. Chen shrugged, squinted his eyes and said, I won't be merciful at that time. Uchiha Madara laughed loudly. If you show mercy, you are not worthy of being my opponent. Alright, the world is a chessboard, and all beings are chess pieces. Let's have a good fight. Chen also answered without hesitation. World is a chessboard, and all living beings are chess pieces. Chen's arrogance makes Uchiha Madara move. Please support. I'm going to go out to work in a while, I don't know if there will be any. 4 shifts, try your best. 375 Confrontation of Demigods. World is a chessboard, and all living beings are chess pieces. Uchiha Madara couldn't help but be moved by Chen's bold and generous words. He looked at Chen with admiration, and said seriously, Uchiha Chen, you are indeed qualified to be my opponent. Chen's atmosphere and power, in Uchiha Madara's view, are far beyond all ninjas, enough to be comparable to him in Hashirama, and can be called the strongest among ninjas. Uchiha Madara sighed. I thought I had taken you seriously enough, but I didn't think I underestimated it. It's rare to get such praise from Uchiha Madara. Chen smiled. Chen knows that Uchiha Madara is a person who will admire you once he recognizes you. Example, Uchiha Madara is like this to Senju Hashirama, and now there is one more person who can make Uchiha Madara appreciate, that is Chen. The world is a chessboard, and all living beings are chess pieces. This is not something that ordinary people can say. Uchiha Madara said lightly, and then said, I thought that after Hashirama's death, the ninja world will no longer. No one is my opponent, but you actually appeared, which surprised me. Chen smiled. It's a pity that your state is not suitable for fighting, otherwise, I really want to fight with you. Chen looked at Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, behind Uchiha Madara, his eyes flickering slightly. Uchiha Madara's current state relies on Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to transport chakra to survive. Once Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, is unplugged, Uchiha Madara will die in a short time. If Chen maliciously pulled out the pipe on Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, now, would Uchiha Madara kneel directly? Uchiha Madara seemed to see through Chen's thoughts and snorted softly, if you want to fight me, I can accompany you. Oh. Chen's heart moved, but it was unexpected. Sure enough, even in such a state, Uchiha Madara still has his back. Chen's eyes flickered, but a warm blood and fighting intent slowly flowed and burned in his heart. If you can fight Uchiha Madara, it will be a thrilling event. The fight with Senju Hashirama of Impure World Reincarnation, Chen didn't feel much pressure, because Senju Hashirama's power in Impure World Reincarnation state was suppressed, and many can be called Mokuden, wood-style ninjutsu, such as Wood Dragon Jutsu, Wood Golem Jutsu cannot be used, and the strength is greatly weakened. So in that battle, although Chen broke through to the state of the complete Susanoo, he was not so excited. But now it's completely different. Judging by Uchiha Madara's tone and demeanor, you really still has his back, ready to fight Chen at any time. With Uchiha Madara's character, what he said about fighting was to fight with all his might. When Chen heard the words, the fighting spirit in his eyes became more and more intense, and the blood in his heart was churning, and he couldn't restrain it at all. Even the chakras began to rise continuously, and powerful chakras emerged, like a tailed beast. Space seems to be twisted along with it, and every area makes people feel a kind of suffocating pressure. the distance, both white Zetsu and black Zetsu. Amazed and found that they still underestimated this young man nicknamed the Legend of the Stars, especially white Zetsu, his eyes flickered, and he was already a little timid. This huge amount of chakra is the symbol of Yangdun, which makes Uchiha Madara snort, Yangdun power in you. Corner of Chen's mouth evoked a smile. That's right, Yangdun. So that's the case, have you already mastered that secret, the secret that opened Rinnegan's eyes? Uchiha Madara's expression finally changed slightly. Before that, although Uchiha Madara knew that Chen had the eternal Mangekyo, he still behaved calmly. That's because Uchiha Madara himself has reached Rinnegan, and thinks that he will be one step ahead of Chen. But at the moment, Chen showed a powerful Yangdun chakra, which finally changed Uchiha Madara's color, knowing that Chen must also know how to open Rinnegan's eyes, and judging from Chen's powerful Yangdun, I am afraid that it will not be necessary to open Rinnegan too long. This makes Uchiha Madara finally moved. Exactly. Although I don't rely on Senju Hashirama's cells to turn on Rinnegan like you do, but I also have my method. I practice Yangdun, and I can also open Rinnegan's eyes. Chen said lightly. Chen's Yangdun level at this time was already very strong, and the countless small stones around him were all suspended in midair, as if being sucked up by him, and the surrounding air was even more suffocating and the pressure was like a mountain. Although Chen has mastered Yangdun, Yangdun is not equivalent to Mokuden wood style. Just like when Naruto got the power of Yangdun from the Six Paths Immortal in the later stage of Hokage, Naruto also couldn't use Mokuden wood style. Mokuden wood style belongs to Kekkei Genkai and must be transplanted with Senju Hashirama cells to use. And Chen does not intend to transplant Senju Hashirama's cells, otherwise, his body will not completely belong to him. Relying on Senju Hashirama's power, even if he becomes stronger in the future, he will be subject to Senju Hashirama. So Chen just used Senju Hashirama's cells to develop wood spirit art, a ninjutsu that increases longevity and eternal youth. Also, it seems that you are indeed qualified to fight me. I hope you will not disappoint me, Uchiha-chan. Only surviving one blood eye of Uchiha Madara showed a fiery fighting spirit. Uchiha Madara was also a fighting maniac. He proudly said, "Come on, Uchiha-chan." Both white Zetsu and black Zetsu looked sluggishly on the side. These two actually planned to fight. This is a battle of demigods in the ninja world. It's not appropriate to do anything here, let's go out. Seeing the fighting intent in Chen's eyes, Uchiha Madara said lightly. Went out, what exactly did Uchiha Madara want to do? He is now bound by the conduit of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, how could it be possible to go out? Pulled out the pipe of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. What is this for? Uchiha Madara pulled out. This section of the pipe of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, is a foreshadowing, and a reasonable explanation will be given later, you might as well guess. Chen Madara, don't you look forward to it? Please support me, to read the underlined version of the novel. 376 Shinra Bansho, all creation, it's all in my hands. Chen was stunned. What's the matter? Uchiha Madara actually unplugged the pipe that sent Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to him. Are you kidding me? If Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, was unplugged, give Uchiha Madara a channel for chakra. I'm afraid it won't take long, Uchiha Madara will die. Uchiha Madara is planning to commit suicide, shaking his head and immediately denying the possibility. Such a heroic character Uchiha Madara, there must be a reason for doing so. Could it be that Chen's eyes flashed slightly, thinking of a certain reason? At the same time, after seeing Uchiha Madara unplug the Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, to transport the chakra pipe, his body seems to be even weaker, and he is on the verge of dissipating and collapsing at any time, but a terrifying huge chakra emerges from Uchiha Madara's chakra. The body surging up, making the situation change color. The huge amount of chakra on Uchiha Madara made Chendu look slightly moved, admiring. It is indeed Uchiha Madara. In such a state, he can still have such a strong chakra. It's impossible to do anything in this cave, let's go out. Uchiha Madara stood up straight and said lightly. All right. I don't have much time, I hope you can make me happy. Uchiha Madara said proudly. Chen narrowed his eyes and nodded slightly, of course. In a flash, both of them left the huge cave. And Black Zetsu and White Zetsu also looked at each other in amazement. Black Zetsu said, you stay here to treat Obito, I will go and see the battle between Madara, Sama and Uchiha Chen. HMPH, leave this drudgery to me. White Zetsu was a little unconvinced, but he could only nod. Black Zetsu also quickly left the cave. Rao is also a little excited for Black Zetsu. The battle between Uchiha Chen and Madara Sama, this is definitely the strongest battle after Madara and Senju Hashirama. A battle between the demigods. Black Zetsu quickly reached the ground, only to see Uchiha Madara and Tatsuyo's confrontation. Uchiha Madara did not have any politeness, but simply said, let's start. Uchiha Madara's current state will definitely not last long after leaving Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, so Uchiha Madara is racing against time. I only saw the huge chakra on Uchiha Madara's body, and then the azure blue appeared. With the appearance of azure blue chakra, Uchiha Madara put on armor, and the Tengu form Susanoo used it. Yes, the full body Susanoo. Chen squinted his eyes. The current Uchiha Madara has already given his eyes to Nagato, but he can still display his full body Susanoo. But think about it carefully, there is also this scene in the original book, Uchiha Madara who lost both eyes full body Susanoo is also turned on. According to Chen's speculation, Uchiha Madara must have a way to use Susanoo after losing Sharingan. Moment later, in front of Chen, a giant with a height of several hundred meters appeared. Susanoo of Uchiha Madara had 4 arms in total. He also held 2 swords and had 2 wings on his back. Like a ghost, majestic and majestic. The complete Susanoo has reached an ultimate strength, and can easily split mountains and even meteorites. Uchiha Madara used one of the strongest moves from the very beginning, and Tatsu was of course unambiguous, only to see the same complete body Susanoo showing. Dazzling gold appeared in the field. It was as if 2 suns appeared in the sky, one in the sky and the other on Tatsuya. Tatsuya's Susanoo was dazzling, golden rays of light shone out, and Susanoo in full Tengu form also appeared. Only see that Chen's complete body Susanoo height is comparable to Uchiha Madara, and both of them are at the center of Susanoo's eyebrows at this time, controlling Susanoo's actions. Chen's Susanoo is arrogant, and looks no worse than Uchiha Madara's Susanoo, and even seems stronger. I only see Chen's Susanoo, which also has the same 4 arms, 2 of which hold the shoulders, and the other 2 the arm is holding a white flame, which is even more terrifying. In contrast, Chen seems to have the upper hand. Susanoo's state seems to be much stronger than Uchiha Madara, and the terrifying strength is impressive. Susanoo of the 2 appeared outrageously. The huge amount of chakra even made the sky darken, even the sky and the earth changed color, making the sky dark and blocked by the power of the 2 complete Susanoos. It's terrible, such a terrible battle, 2 complete Susanoos, this is the first time I've seen it, it's incredible. Black Zetsu was immersed in admiration and shock, watching the duel between Tatsu and Uchiha Madara without blinking, lest he miss the slightest. This is the real battle of the demigods. It may be the battle between the 2 strongest people in the ninja world right now. Uchiha Chen, your Susanoo is really different. When Uchiha Madara saw Susanoo's state, she was surprised, but her fighting spirit was even stronger. But if you want to beat me, you can't. Uchiha Madara shook his head slightly and whispered, the 2 forces repel each other, and the opposite is one, and you can get Shinra Bansho all creation. Now, Shinra Bansho all creation, it's all in my hands. Uchiha Madara's chest has Senju Hashirama's cells, and Uchiha Madara's own chakras echo each other. He gave a low voice and slammed the hand seal. Susanoo even cooperated with the hand seal, Susanoo, World of Trees wall. What? Chen's pupils shrank. Unexpectedly, Uchiha Madara used Susanoo to match her hand seal to release World of Trees wall. After Susanoo cooperates with hand seal, the power of ninjutsu has been greatly increased, such as the meteorite that Uchiha Madara once used, and Chen used Kirin. If you use Susanoo as a medium to release the World of Trees wall, the power is self-evident. In an instant, only a piece of vines grow on the ground. Please be automatic, Philo to remind you. Favorite, recommend, score. 377 2 Complete body Susanoo. Countless vines emerged from the ground, and trees rose from the ground. These trees quickly grew into towering trees, and even formed a forest in a blink of an eye. I once heard the legend of Konoha. It is said that when Konoha established a village at the time, Senju Hashirama used Mokuden, wood style, to transform the geographical environment of Konoha village, so there are so many trees in Konoha. When Chen heard this statement at the time, he sneered at it. After all, there are too many woods in Konoha. Even Senju Hashirama may not be able to transform the environment with Mokuden, wood style. But now seeing this ninjutsu of Uchiha Madara, Chen actually believed it. Of this ninjutsu is really terrifying. I only saw towering giant trees rising from the ground, and in the blink of an eye, they have grown into a forest. These green trees seem to form a green ocean. Chen swept from all directions. Once you get entangled by Mokuden, wood style, it's dangerous. At least for a short period of time, it will definitely lose the ability to move. At that time, Uchiha Madara would take advantage of it to enter. The gain outweighed the loss. Thinking of this, Chen used Susanoo to quickly fly in the sky. Susanoo's flying ability showed, allowing Chen to fly freely in the sky. However, there were still vines that kept following Chen's flight. Chen snorted coldly, and when Susanoo moved, he saw white flames emerge from above Susanoo, and those vines were burned to the ground in an instant, and they no longer followed. Oh, this white flame of yours is very special. It should be your Mangekyo's special ability. Uchiha Madara is a little surprised. There seems to be the power of Yongdun. Has your Yongdun really reached this level? Chen snorted coldly. Uchiha Madara, it's not. Only you can combine yin and yang into one. Yin and yang blend together. You can get Shinra Bansho, all creation. Chen's Sharingan turned quickly, only to see the Mangekyo movements accompanying Chen, and at the same time, the combination of Yin Dun and Yang Dun, the white flames that belong to the mutation of Amaterasu were scorching hot, and on Chen Susanoo's double swords, there was actually a flame attached to it. A layer of rich white flame. This greatly increases the power of Chen's Susanoo. At the same time, Bai Yan almost covered the entire Susanoo's shell, forming an alternative absolute defense. This technique. Uchiha Madara is even more interested. The distance, Black Zetsu saw this scene and murmured to himself, the quality of this white flame is definitely the most terrifying flame I have ever seen. No flame in this world will be swallowed up by it. Of surrender. It also has the power of masculinity. I really don't know how Madara-sama will respond. The power of the white flame. Even Black Zetsu felt the pressure and terror, which recognized the terrifying power of this flame. The essence of Bai Yan is the knot between Amaterasu and Yang Dun, and Amaterasu is the power of Yin Dun from Sharingan, so this ninjutsu also belongs to the combination of Yin Dun and Yang Dun, which makes Black Zetsu jealous. Amaterasu. Chen let out a low voice and roared. The fire of white flames emerges, and the pure white flames are filled with powerful destructive power. Out! The flame cannot be extinguished at all, and the rapid burning spreads all over. Bai Yan burns directly in Uchiha Madara. Fortunately, Uchiha Madara is still in Susanoo at this time, and Susanoo's absolute defense resists Bai Yan. But gradually, Uchiha Madara realized something was amiss, and said, even the Tengu armor. I only saw that on Uchiha Madara's complete body Susanoo, the dog's armor was cracked, and it was burned by the white flames. A pair of nice eyes. Uchiha Madara shook his head slightly. Even though the Tengu armor was cracked, he seemed very calm. Uchiha Madara decisively cancelled Susanoo, standing alone in the field. Susanoo's armor fell along with Amaterasu's fire, and the surrounding area was scorched by Amaterasu's fire, which was terrifying. However, at the moment when Uchiha Madara cancels Susanoo, Susanoo is activated again, and Susanoo is completely reproduced. Oh, it's Uchiha Madara who resists my Amaterasu's attack in such a way. Chen frowned, feeling very troubled too. Uchiha Madara would actually fight in this way. In this way, even Chen does not have much advantage. It's just Uchiha Madara who lost Rinnegan. If he has Rinnegan, it's harder to deal with. Chen shook his head lightly, and had another perception of Uchiha Madara's strength. Uchiha Madara is indeed outrageous, especially after he obtained Senjuhashirama cells. Uchiha-chan, you didn't disappoint me, but I'm running out of time, only the last 10 minutes or so, let's play with you at the end. Uchiha Madara whispered. Hearing this, Chen was stunned. Uchiha Madara just pulled out the chakra pipe of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Could it be that he will die in 10 minutes? It may be that Chen already has the answer in his heart. Then, come on. Chen was not afraid at all, and raised the power of the complete body Susanoo to its peak. The same is true for Uchiha Madara, his blue Susanoo showing the strongest state, rising to the peak of power. With a slight movement, Uchiha Madara moved sharply and rushed towards Chen. The two giant Susanoos had already started to confront each other. The sound was loud and earth-shattering. There are still many Iwagakure and Konoha ninjas around in the battlefield. Chen and Uchiha Madara's Susanoo are both tall, hundreds of meters, so that these ninjas can recognize it at a glance, and immediately, many ninjas were directly scared to pee. What is that? Some ninjas saw the two complete bodies of Chen and Uchiha Madara. After Susanoo, I was terrified. The earth keeps shaking, and Susanoo, the complete body of Chen and Uchiha Madara, finally begins to fight in close quarters. Please support, hehe. 378 Open the mountains and break the mountains, and cut the stars with swords. Ask for all support. The ground shook violently, and the continuous vibration caused the ground to crack, just like a big earthquake. There were tens of meters of deep pits where the two Susanoos stepped on, and there were even cracks of hundreds of meters. The big tree fell down. The ground is cracked. The river is easily cut off. Even the mountain peaks were destroyed in the battle. This power can no longer simply be described as terrifying. This is the border of Kusanagi village, and it is also the place where Konoha and Iwagakure fought, not only Kakashi and others carrying out the mission of the Battle of Kanabi Bridge, but also the place where Iwagakure and Konoha fought. In other words, there are also many Konoha and Iwagakure ninjas here. Of course, most of these ninjas are very far away from Chen and Uchiha Madara, at least a dozen miles away, so they are less affected. But even so, they could clearly feel the earthquake. The earth shook and cracked, and two strong chakras shot up into the sky, soaring into the sky. The strong momentum made all the ninjas who saw this scene from a distance stunned, almost speechless. Was so terrifying and amazing. These ninjas were horrified when they saw this scene, and they were speechless in the face of the mighty Chen and Uchiha Madara. At this time, Iwagakure and Konoha were at war, but both sides suddenly lost the slightest intention to fight. They just stared at the two blue and one gold figures in the sky in awe, intertwined with awe. What's the situation? Many Iwagakure saw this scene and were all horrified. It looks like two ninjas are fighting. What a joke, is this still human power? This level of battle? The Iwagakure all had no will to fight, and their faces turned pale with fear. The battle between Chen and Uchiha Madara, their battle is like a child playing a house. No, not even this level. The battle between Uchiha Madara and Chen is really too strong, rolling up countless storms. The two every time a battle, when the swords add up, will be accompanied by a deafening roar, as well as a terrifying sound. At the same time, at the foot of Susanoo of Chen and Uchiha Madara, large tracts of trees were trampled down, and everywhere was in a mess. all within a radius of tens of miles, and the trees were all up and down, without the slightest appearance. Horrible, terrible to the extreme. Black Zetsu also stayed far away, commenting on this battle. The damage caused by the two complete Susanos was too strong, and it was inferior to the damage caused by the battle between Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. Uchiha Madara and Chen are currently in close combat. Uchiha Madara's complete body Susanoo, with 4 arms, holding 4 Malay swords. This is Susanoo's virtual artifact, and its sharpness is unparalleled. As for Chen's Susanoo, although he only has 2 swords, he still has Amaterasu's mutated white flame, which is even more difficult than ordinary artifacts. The two kept fighting, using all of Susanoo's power to ultimate. The appreciation and fighting spirit in Uchiha Madara's eyes are also getting stronger and stronger. It's really fun, Uchiha Chen. Since Hashirama died, I haven't experienced such a feeling. With flesh and blood, the real feeling of swaying on the battlefield, it was so beautiful. Uchiha Madara growled lowly, but Chen also did not give in at all. Yes, then you should experience it more. You who have opened the full-body Susanoo are indeed not to be underestimated. You are qualified to fight me, and you can also threaten me. Uchiha Madara also admitted this when the two fought. Chen's strength is absolutely extraordinary, even Uchiha Madara must agree with him. Chen smiled slightly, but Susanoo's offensive became more and more fierce. Chen found that Uchiha Madara's strength was very strong, even without Sharingan, relying on Susanoo reached an extremely terrifying level. To imagine how strong Uchiha Madara with Rinnegan will be. Fortunately, Uchiha Madara gave Rinnegan to Nagato, otherwise Nakan would really encounter a crisis and would not be able to compete with Uchiha Madara. But despite this, Chen did not feel discouraged at all. On the contrary, the fighting spirit in his heart became stronger and stronger. This is the way to the pinnacle of ninjas. And Uchiha Madara, Senju Hashirama, originally stood at the pinnacle of all ninjas. Now Chen is very close to the two of them, and he has not practiced ninjutsu for many years, and he has full potential to surpass Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. Chen is convinced of this. The pinnacle of the ninja road, he will definitely have a place for Uchiha Chen in the future, and he will definitely stand at the top and become the strongest ninja in the world. As if he had understood something, his shots were even more neat and tidy, and a momentum emerged from his body, becoming stronger and more terrifying. Chen's eyes became more and more firm. He was firm on the path he wanted to walk. Boom, boom, boom. The battle between the two was like a shattering, terrifying power, only to see that several surrounding hills were directly flattened by the two Susanoo weapons. There was originally a wide river on the ground, and it was not known when it was blocked by boulders and the river was cut off. The earth has long been full of cracks, and there are deep pits tens of meters long everywhere, which are criss-crossed and terrifying. Full-body Susanoo's power is fully revealed, and this is the first time Chen has fully demonstrated Susanoo's power. The terrain within dozens of kilometers has been changed. Originally, there were many forests, but now it is almost bare. So terrifying. Chen and Madara are still fighting. This battle of demigods is gradually approaching the end. Ask for your support. 379 I will stand at the top and look down on you. Ask for reward. Boom. Another mountain peak was completely destroyed in the battle between the two, extremely terrifying. Mountain is broken, and it is no longer known which mountain it is. Just a few minutes, the terrain here has been completely changed, and all this is just because the two ninjas are fighting. Iwagakure, who could clearly see the battle in the distance, were stunned and did not dare to speak at all, as if they had seen the scene of the end of the world. If such ninjas are the enemy of our village of Iwagakure. These Iwagakure people all came up with this idea, and after this idea flashed in their minds, they trembled and shuddered. Who are these two people? Many Iwagakure questioned. One of them seems to be a legend of the stars. Vaguely, Iwagakure timidly replied, last time we surrounded Konoha, the Legend of the Stars also showed this similar ninjutsu, but not as strong as it is now. What? It's actually a Legend of the Stars, so who else could it be? The Iwagakure people were shocked. The Legend of the Stars, Uchiha Chen, why would there be another ninja who can match him here, and who is he? This battle directly destroyed the minds of these Iwagakure, leaving them with no will to fight. Facing these two battles that were not at the same level at all, their eyes were full of daze and helplessness. The distance, in the Konoha camp. Iwagakure can see Tatsu fighting with Uchiha Madara, and of course some of Konoha's ninjas can too. It's just that on the battlefield here, the number of Konoha ninjas is relatively small. However, when the Konoha ninja saw this scene, it was even more shocking. At present, the ninjas of Konoha are led by Namikaze Minato. Among them, there are Ino Shikacho et al. When Konoha ninja saw this scene in the field, they were all overjoyed at first, then remembered something, and all sighed. Akamichi Choza in Ino Shikacho was even more excited. It's Chen. That, the ninjutsu named Susanoo, that color, it's definitely Chen. How can Chen appear here with such power? I can't believe it. In a short period of time, Chen seems to have become stronger again. Nara Shikaku looked at the sky, her eyes widened, and she couldn't believe it. I don't know who the person who fought with Chen is. The battle between Chen and Uchiha Madara unexpectedly fell into the eyes of Ino Shikacho in this war zone. Just Ino Shikacho, but Namikaze Minato all this. Namikaze Minato's pupils shrank, and he couldn't believe it, but also exclaimed, "It really is Chen, only he can create such a big scene." Minato-sama, don't tell me. Behind Minato, several Konoha ninjas looked at Minato with excited expressions. Yeah, it's Yuji, the Legend of the Stars. Being confirmed by Namikaze Minato, these ninjas are even more excited. Some of them have never seen Chen, and now they are completely emotional and shocked. Namikaze Minato shook his head slightly, thinking of Tatsuya's words. I'm just here to fight with someone. Namikaze Minato smiles at the corner of his mouth. Slightly bitter, she whispered to herself, Chen Chen, is this what you call finding someone to fight? Sure enough, there is a gap between me and you, really. The ninjas in Konoha were stunned, and some ninjas even clenched their fists and whispered, this is not the power that a human being can have at all. It's too scary. If Lord Chen is still there, in our Konoha village, how could we fall into this place? The current situation. Yes. That's right. Several ninjas agreed and nodded. Namikaze Minato sighed lightly and signaled everyone to be quiet, but said, you can open your eyes and watch next, although I don't know who is fighting with Chen, but this is probably the pinnacle of the ninja world. This sentence made all the ninjas fascinated and eagerly looking forward to it, and hurriedly looked at the two complete Susanos in the distance, without blinking their eyes, lest they miss any details. The battle between Chen and Uchiha Madara is gradually coming to an end. Not that the two have decided the winner, but Uchiha Madara's time is gradually coming. At this time, Uchiha Madara's face was even older, and his energy was gradually lacking, as if he was on the verge of collapse at any time. At this time, Chen was of course gradually gaining the upper hand, but Chen didn't have the slightest bit of pride in his heart, which was a matter of course. Uchiha Madara is not in full bloom now, although it is still very strong, but Uchiha Madara without Rinnegan is not the real Uchiha Madara after all. Uchiha-chan, even if you win this time, you didn't let me down. But if you want to become my opponent in the future, you can't just rely on this method. Uchiha Madara said lightly. The Susanoo on Uchiha Madara is gradually dissipating, and he seems to have aged 10 years in an instant, to the brink of death. Chen frowned, feeling even more weird. Uchiha Madara had previously taken the initiative to unplug the Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the Outer Path, pipeline that transported chakra, which had surprised Chen, and now it seems that Uchiha Madara is on the verge of death. Uchiha Madara, don't worry, I won't let you down. One day, I will stand on the top and look down on you. Chen's eyes were very firm. Uchiha Madara was stunned for a moment, then laughed. Interesting, it seems that you still want to dance, but unfortunately my time is too short this time to enjoy, but one day, I will wait for you. In this short 10-minute battle, Uchiha Madara saw Chen's potential, not only brought Susanoo to a complete state, but his strength was no less than when he did not drive Rinnegan. This is enough to show Chen's potential. What's more, there is a terrifying young escape energy in Chen, and Susanoo in Uchiha Madara disappeared and returned to the ground. And Uchiha Madara is already dying. The terrain here was completely changed. Chen quietly looked at the dying Uchiha Madara, and the strange feeling in his heart became more and more serious. This battle ended, the ground shook and the mountains subsided, and all the ninjas in the distance were relieved, still immersed in shock. 380 Izanagi. The battle is over. The surrounding terrain has been devastated by the two of them, and there is a mess everywhere. This spectacular battle scene fell into the eyes of many people, and it was terrifying and terrifying. Regardless of Iwagakure in the distance, or everyone in Konoha, they have lost their fighting spirit. In the face of such a battle, their battle was like a fight of ants, which made people not interested at all. In contrast, regardless of it was Iwagakure or Konoha, both lost their minds because of this battle and did not dare to interfere at all. Due to Uchiha Madara's health, this battle only lasted for more than 10 minutes and ended. Both Chen and Uchiha Madara were still a little unfulfilled, but Uchiha Madara was now on the verge of dying, and he was not allowed to move anymore. Chen didn't believe that Uchiha Madara would die like this, and Uchiha Madara could not have paid the price of her life for this mere battle. Chen's eyes swept to the dying Uchiha Madara, and then he looked at Black Zetsu, who was watching the battle with the same expression in the distance, and realized something in his heart. At this time, I saw Uchiha Madara, who was about to die in the same place, and suddenly disappeared without warning. That's right, it disappeared directly under Chen's eyes. Chen's heart moved, and that strange feeling once again it came, and I became more convinced of the thoughts in my heart. It really is that forbidden technique. Chen shook his head and sighed softly. Lord Chen seems to have discovered that. Yes, that is what Madara-sama used. Forbidden technique. Black Zetsu smiled, with an evil spirit in his smile. Chen hates Black Zetsu's smile. This guy is really a sinister character, but he is not a big threat to Chen. On the contrary, Black Zetsu is the last important pawn to control Uchiha Madara. So Chen and Black Zetsu don't have too many conflicts of interest for the time being. According to the Old Man of Six Paths, the seal of Kagaya Heim has been loosened. Even if the future does not pass infinite Tsukuyomi, Kagaya will escape from the seal sooner or later, and there will still be a crisis of extinction at that time. So Chen has no idea of getting rid of Black Zetsu yet, so keeping Black Zetsu to check and balance Uchiha Madara is not bad. It really is that forbidden technique. It was the first time that Chen came into contact with one of the strongest forbidden techniques of the Uchiha clan, and he was also interested in it. Black Zetsu also let out a sinister sound and stayed on the spot, devastated, but the traces of chakra were already there, as if no one had ever come here. When Chen returned to the cave, he saw Madara. I only saw Uchiha Madara, still with white hair, sitting in front of Gedo Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, with a chakra pipe inserted, and there was nothing like it before. Change. This astonishing scene fell in Chen's eyes. Chen knew it, and sighed softly. Uchiha Madara is indeed Uchiha Madara. It turns out that everything has already been planned. Izanagi, it really lives up to its reputation. Chen exclaimed. That's right, Izanagi, Chen. Only then did I fully understand why Uchiha Madara fought with herself so confidently that she could even pull out the chakra pipe. Thanks to Izanagi, the strongest forbidden technique of the Uchiha family. This forbidden technique can even change the fate of life and death, in exchange for a chance to be reborn at the cost of a blind eye. Izanagi, in a very short period of time, can instantly transform all the unfavorable factors of the caster, including death, into a dream. It is the ultimate demonic illusion that can control the boundary between reality and dream and release it to herself. With the addition of Uchiha Madara's first-generation cells, it's not too easy to release Izanagi. Sure enough, as soon as Chen's voice fell, he saw that the only Sharingan in Uchiha Madara's eye socket was instantly blind, and its luster was dim. Uchiha Madara smiled lightly. It's right to be seen by you. I sealed Izanagi's forbidden technique in this eye before that, so I can easily accompany you to fight. While speaking, Uchiha Madara took the blind eye out of the socket with a calm expression, and then took out a brand new Sharingan from somewhere to change the eye for herself. Chen's eyes narrowed slightly. It seems that your Sharingan reserves are quite sufficient. It's natural. Uchiha Madara smiled proudly. I used to be the head of the Uchiha clan. After many people died, their eyes were in my hands. Izanagi, it really is an incredible forbidden technique. Chen was still amazed by Izanagi's ninjutsu just now. Uchiha Madara is worthy of being a hero. He has everything, even Izanagi has already arranged it, which really makes Chendu amazed. Only such a person is worthy of being his opponent. Uchiha Madara said lightly, Izanagi, Izanami, is the strongest forbidden technique of the Uchiha family. The forbidden technique that must be at the expense of blindness, is naturally very strong. Chen nodded slightly. When you fought against the first generation, you relied on this ninjutsu. Although you died on the surface, you survived with Izanagi and got the cells of the first generation Hokage Senju Hashirama. HMPH, you reacted right away. You guessed right, that's it. Uchiha Madara said lightly. Ninjutsu is really admirable. Even Chen has to admire Uchiha Madara, interlocking and thinking so delicately. To a certain extent, although Senju Hashirama is stronger than Uchiha Madara, it is indeed inferior to Uchiha Madara in terms of layout and planning. Uchiha Madara still affects the ninja world even after death, which shows its layout and ability. Of course, there are also many variables, such as Naruto's. The King of Escape, who almost destroyed Uchiha Madara's plan with just one mouth. Sit. Uchiha Madara looked at Chen and opened her mouth to invite, but this time, Uchiha Madara invited her with a completely equal attitude. After seeing Chen's strength, Uchiha Madara agreed with Chen.